cross-country course for the 2015 Longines FEI European Eventing Championships is set in the hills and glens of the Athol Estates at Blair Castle. Designed by Scotland's 1991 European champion Ian Stark, the course is 5,820 metres in length, giving us an optimum time of 10 minutes and 13 seconds. The competitors start over the Longines flower display, jump the pickups and then climb up a hill for the first time to the whiskey barrels at 3. The first combination is the bothies at 4, A, B and C, a choice here of 3 and 3 strides on the inside or 4 and 4 strides on the outside. Jumping through the Olympic diamond at 5, riders then ride uphill through the woods and then come to an upright gate and a climb further to the leaf pit drop.
We're at the highest point of the course, fence 7. The big drop running down towards the first water, and we've been climbing ever since we left the start box to this point. So the horses will just need to take a breath on the corner coming round to this fence, let them take a breath, turn them into it, let them see where they're going, just allow their heads so they drop off here nicely before we run down the hill, probably quite quickly. We'll shoot off down there before we get them back to then present them to the first water.
This then propels them down the hill to the double of hanging logs, the water splash at 8. Silver birch rails then take them into the dark of the woods before they explode out again over the enormous fallen tree at 10. The Longines Locken and Fisherman's Dream at 11 and 12 will require attacking riding, a big oxer, then the splash into water and over a skinny fish, and then it's a step up and bounce stride over another beautifully carved fish. The picnic table at 13 is a simple fence, but the terrain here is a real roller coaster. The Athol Estates castle wall and cannon is one of Ian's rider frighteners.
So fence 14A and B is the castle wall and cannon. It's a brand new fence, it's a very, very impressive fence. It's got a fantastic view behind of the hills, and it's certainly a fence that the riders are going to really respect. As you approach, it looks like a straightforward big palisade, but as you get a little bit nearer, the horses could well be a little bit spooked by the ditch, which, as you can see, just suddenly yawns out in front of you. It's a little bit of an interesting fence because you're actually jumping up into the garden, and the horses can't always tell that on the approach. So you're hoping as they get here they're going to react well, they're going to jump up, land out, and then you've got 3 strides down to the B element over the cannon, and that should ride well. There's a nice few cannonballs, there's a ground line just to give you a bit of help.
They carry on through the garden then to the Stag's Heads at 15 before dropping down to the arena, where the UK Sport corners at 16 AB await them. Through a sunken road profile to the brush arrowhead, competitors now set up for the Firth of Forth bridges at 18 and its closely related Locken at 19. Even without its position on the course and the hills already completed, this would be the toughest fence on the course.
So we're here at fence 18 and 19 on Ian Stark's course. We're 7 minutes into the track and we're faced with, in my opinion, probably one of the biggest questions on the course. We've got part A, which is a bridge into the water. That's actually quite a nice fence to invite the horses in, back into what will be their 3rd water fence on the track. And then a really sharp right angle turn up to far less of an inviting fence. It's got a massive ditch underneath it. It's another bridge and it's got the water behind it. It's very hard for the horses to see, you know, that they're jumping into space. It's that real test of bravery that an event horse has to answer. Ditch underneath the element, as we've said, with the water in a backdrop and up quite a steep slope as well. So that's a big test. And then we start testing accuracy. We're going to go down the hill to fence 19 to what is actually a very tall, one of the taller fences you'll ever see in water. And again, like a lot of the fences here, very upright. That's 19A. And then if we go over here, we can see the camber between 19A and 19B to what again is probably the biggest corner on the course. It's a brush corner, but it is big, and getting a line to that is really quite difficult, having gone from 19A to B. Steep slope there for the horses to negotiate, and I think the riders, they won't really know how the horses react the whole way through here. They're going to have to ride off feel. Horses need to be brave, riders need to be on their toes, and I think this is a fence you really want to keep an eye on.
The chase fence at 20 must be respected, but it's a bit of a let-up before a last climb to the haggis, neeps and tatties. The slope here between the B and C element is incredibly steep, and that 3rd element needs accuracy. The rail ditch complex at 23-24 is a difficult fence and really intelligently placed on an acutely angled slope. Then it's the Trakehner at 25, beyond which is the Event Scotland hanging keyhold with its yawning ditch in front. 27 and 28 are the angled brushes. Looking forward to Stragom, host of these championships in 2017 in Poland. And lastly, the Longines Final Fling, which is a fun fence, but it needs respect as there's no ground line under those kilts. 29 fences, 40 jumping efforts for our competitors in the Longines FEI European Eventing Championships cross country.